those of you who don't know me, I'm Ruth DeGolia. I'm founder and executive director of Mercado Global. And this is actually our 15-year anniversary. And originally tonight we were going to be doing a huge in-person event just to celebrate our 15-year anniversary, but just with our supporters in Silicon Valley. And one of the things that's so special right now is that we have the opportunity to have supporters from all over the country and all over the world. I know we have people calling in from Chile, Costa Rica, I think some people calling in from Europe, and to see so many of you here supporting us just means so much. So, when we started 15 years ago, we were working with just a few dozen artisans. Now we're working with nearly 1,000, and it's thanks to supporters like you that we've been able to grow and thrive as a nonprofit and be a thought leader in the field of ethical fashion. And it's through your donations and your purchases of our handmade collections that we've been able to partner with over 800 retailers over the years, from Levi Strauss, Free People, Stitch Fix, Nordstrom, Reformation, the list goes on. And when we talk about your purchases, we mean that in the last 15 years, we've brought in $4.3 million in sales for women artisans in Guatemala's highlands. And we've directly supported individual women and their families and helped them send 5,500 of their kids to school, which is just amazing. So thank you to all of you for all of your support. And our fashion accessories and now our masks not only transform an outfit, but they help break the cycle of poverty. We provide the materials, tools, and trainings that allow women to create modern pieces that incorporate traditional techniques as they work and learn together in a safe space. Our team on the ground provides workshops and individual support on topics ranging from reproductive health and self-esteem to financial literacy and how to run and start your own business. So through this unique model, indigenous regions of Guatemala receive critical financial opportunities. But right now, as all of you know, we're facing a really difficult situation. Things are difficult here in the US. Things are also difficult in Guatemala. The country has been on lockdown and people don't have their primary source of income, but, be it tourism or working in factories and other income opportunities that are in the region. And we have become the only revenue source in many of our partner communities. Even remittances, which are actually the biggest source of GDP, have mostly dried up. And in fact, in a lot of the rural areas, we're the only source of food as well. And in addition to the drop in income, what we're seeing in rural Guatemala is that prices of food have increased about 30% since the pandemic started. And because our artisan communities are in complete lockdown, and that's made it even more difficult to get income and to get out to get food. And in fact, something that hasn't been covered very much in the news is that until about a month ago, there were less than 5 cases of coronavirus in Guatemala. And then what happened is that a lot of immigrants were deported from the US to Guatemala up through 2 weeks ago. And up to 75% of the people that were on those flights that were being deported later tested positive for coronavirus. And then actually in many of the communities where we work, people cannot leave their homes for anything. Nobody can get into the region at all because coronavirus is already present due to the deported immigrants. So it's a really difficult situation, but we are working hard to help and to help everyone get through. So first, we were able to get permission and support from our donors to deliver 15,000 pounds of food into our partner communities. And we were able to get that back in late March before things started to really lock down. So in our communities where no one could get in or out, people have several weeks supply of food, which is amazing. And that was through our amazing partners, the Greater Impact Foundation, Food for the Poor, and Caritas. So we're really thankful to them. And then we're also proud that we can continue supporting our artisans through these uncertain times through our mask initiative. Nearly 2 months ago, our production and design teams shifted in what felt like just overnight to making masks that we've been donating to healthcare professionals and hospitals on the front lines. 8,000 masks have been donated to hospitals in New York City so far, the epicenter of the pandemic and our headquarters. And we'll be donating another 15,000 over the next 2 weeks, which is really exciting. In fact, our next shipment is going out tomorrow. Of these masks that we're donating to hospitals, 2,500 have been funded by our Buy One, Give One initiative. So to everybody, and I know many of you have purchased masks through our website, thank you for doing that. You have directly been funding the masks that we are donating to hospitals in New York City and beyond. Others have also been underwritten by our amazing foundation partners, including Project Redwood, Hands on Tzedakah, and the Ziegler Family Foundation. So thank you, everyone, for all of your support. Already, we've ramped up, and we're now producing 35,000 masks a month, and we'll continue to grow capacity as we help more and more artisans throughout Guatemala get through, while also directly helping to flatten the curve where they're needed most. Well, these are unprecedented times. I am grateful to each and every one of you for joining us tonight. It really means so much. Fiesta doesn't look like it usually does this year, and that's okay. We are still here, and we're still together, and these days especially, that is what matters. Okay, we have an amazing evening lined up for all of you. We want this to be interactive like it's never been before. Bear with us. We've never done this. This is experimental, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Please comment in the group chat with your real-time questions and comments and shares. We'll do our best to answer and respond. Plus, there'll be live music. You'll hear from one of our board members, our leadership team. I even hear there's a special guest critter who will be making an appearance. But first, I could not be prouder to introduce you to the Mercado Global staff.
Hi all, I'm Fern. I'm from Brazil, and I work as a designer for Mercado Global. What inspired me the most about my work is engaging with the artisans and sharing life experiences with them.
Hi, I'm Bryce Lovell, the Director of Development at Mercado Global. While I'm usually based in our New York City offices, I am so proud to be part of this special organization that is so near and dear to my heart, especially in these unprecedented times. I am part of this organization because I believe in the power of women, and together we can truly change the world.
Hi, I'm Janet, and I work as Mercado Global's Product Development Manager. I'm originally from California, but I'm currently living in New York City, where I'm practicing social distancing. What I love the most about working here is that we get to help artisan women have a better life for themselves and for their children. I also love how every piece that they make is hand-woven, handmade, individually handcrafted, and it's literally like a piece of artwork.
Hi, my name is Becky Chrisman. I'm Mercado Global's Operations Director. I'm typically based in our New York office, but right now I'm living in New Hampshire while things settle down back in New York. I've been on the team for about 8 years now, and one of the things I love most about working for Mercado Global is just seeing firsthand how much of an impact our programs truly make.
Hello, my name is Marcos. I'm from Argentina. I'm the graphic designer at Mercado Global. What I love about working with Mercado Global is that I know that the change we make is real. When I travel to the communities, when I live down there, I could see the difference in the living standards of the artisans that work with us than those that did not.
Hi, my name is Louise. Hello from Guatemala. I'm the development manager here at Mercado Global, and my favorite part about working for Mercado is going into our communities and having one-on-one conversations with the women we work with. I love hearing about how our model positively impacts their lives and the lives of their families.
Hello from Guatemala. My name is Nina, and I'm the Institutional Partnerships Manager at Mercado Global. My favorite part about working with Mercado Global is going into the communities and seeing the work that we do with our artisans firsthand. That impact is incredible.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Burgos, and I'm the Director of Merchandising and Marketing here at Mercado Global. The thing that inspires me the most about working here are our artisans, and it brings me immense pride knowing that I work for a company that helps to empower these incredible women. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, team, for having put that video together with very short notice. That was really fantastic. And there's Marta, our amazing board member. All right, so next we are going to do a little Q&A with one of our amazing board members, Marta Bazzori, who has been on the board. Marta, how many years have you been on our board of directors now?
I think it's been close to 4 years at this point.
All right. Well, Marta is a rock star. She has helped us in many different ways. And I'm so excited that because we have a virtual event, we get a chance to have a conversation with Marta and share a little bit about what it's like to be on our board and what her experience with the organization has been. So Marta, I'd love to start by just asking you a little bit about your background and your career and what sparked your interest in Mercado Global.
Sure, great. Thank you for having me. And I'm sorry that I'm one of the lower tech board members here. I'm sitting in my office here in California, so I haven't figured out the green screen in the background just yet. But so a little bit about my background and my career. I come from a multicultural background. I grew up actually in France and the UK. My father is Italian, my mother is American. I've lived a little bit all over the world. I just moved to California from Hong Kong. So I would call myself a bit of a citizen of the world and interested in things happening a little bit everywhere. And so that's what drew me to a career in financial services and really working in global markets and with clients all around the world. I've been in financial services almost 15 years now and held multiple roles. I started in banking and then moved into asset management, which is where I am now. And I've worked on the sales side with clients. I've worked in strategy, and now I'm in HR. And in terms of what sparked my interest with Mercado, I was actually introduced through my organization's corporate foundation, which has a nonprofit board placement program for employees. And what drew me specifically to the organization, we had this matching process where you would tell the corporate foundation, what were the causes you were the most interested in, and then they would recommend nonprofit partners that you could engage with. And I've always been an advocate of women having the independence to make their own choices. And over the course of my life, I've learned that access to education and financial independence play a huge role in that independence. It's something that I strive to do in my roles at my current firm, where we try to educate women as investors so that they can be a part of global markets, so that they can grow their own wealth, so they can provide for themselves and their families and their communities. And so really the mission of Mercado and the opportunity to help women who may not have that access already on their own, but would have an opportunity to achieve their own financial independence and provide for themselves and their families and their communities was really the perfect match for what I was interested in.
That's amazing. And Marta, you as board member, you've been such a tremendous advocate for us and you've helped us in so many ways. Would you be willing to give everyone a little sense of some of the different ways that you've supported Mercado Global's growth as an organization over the years, and how have you helped as a board member?
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe I'll start with some of the ways that I've been contributing, and then happy to talk a bit about how the experience has helped me. When I started working with you all, I started as a volunteer, and I really was my first foray into working with a nonprofit organization. And so I really just wanted to learn, and big shout out to my fellow board members and the team, Ruth, everybody at Mercado Global, who was so patient with me and continues to be patient with me as I ask a million questions and trying to understand how everything works. But that was really important for me to understand the challenges that the organization faces, that the women that we help face, why they face them, and what a solution would look like. That was helpful for me in orienting how I thought that I could contribute and help the organization. And it gave me a few ideas over the course of time. And, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank, others who are on this call, a lot of my PIMCO colleagues, in particular, Elizabeth Ekman, who I know is on this call, Jen Alley, who's on one of the committees that I'm on with me, as well as my fellow board members in general, who've been great partners in implementing some of these ideas. And so, some of the goals that we've focused on specifically have been, we have a special projects committee that's focused on developing a strategy for engaging women in finance, both as customers as well as donors to the organization, and really to unite us, women in finance who are there all about economic empowerment as a goal in their professional careers, with, Mercado Global that is striving to accomplish that for our artisans as well. So we think there's a lot of synergies there between the two. Then on the finance committee, collaborating with Melody Hart, just assessing, how we optimize different revenue opportunities for the firm, while also taking into account, the expense side of the business. And that's particularly important when you're navigating environments like today where, organization could fall under a certain amount of stress. And so how do you prepare for that and plan ahead and ensure that we continue to position ourselves by investing in the organization's future growth? And then more recently, we've also had the opportunity to partner on a number of grants that we've pursued through various partners. We've also had the opportunity to source Mercado Global bags for our clients at the firm who've been really excited to get involved and learn more about the organization. We've even brought some of our clients to Guatemala who are very curious to learn more. And now the most current opportunity that we're working on is providing face coverings or masks to financial services and other organizations who need them. So fun fact, we realize that Homeland Security identifies 16 categories of essential critical infrastructure industries and workers. Healthcare is obviously one of them that we all know about. Financial services is another one that I don't know if everybody necessarily thinks of. And so myself and 400 plus colleagues around the world are still coming into the office every day to help provide liquidity to our clients, to markets, to investors, which is highly needed, especially as you think of the different relief packages that have been introduced by various governments around the world. You still need financial players to come in and assist with those and implementing market stabilization. So insofar as employees coming in, we as a firm feel like we have to provide PPE for our employees. And that includes face coverings among other items. And so we've had an opportunity to partner with Mercado to purchase some of their new masks to provide to our employees around the world, which has been really exciting. It's exciting, one, to protect our employees, but two, to introduce the organization to so many new potential supporters who may not have been familiar with Mercado's work before. I joke often with Ruth that it's been hard to engage, my whole firm because my firm has a lot of men in it, and men don't tend to buy handbags and purses and things, and so masks is a great bridge to introduce all the men in our organization to Mercado Global.
And Marta, if I'm not mistaken, you might have a sample of the newest pieces of swag that we're shipping out this week. We're shipping all of the orders for masks that people have placed on our e-commerce site, and I think you have one of the ones that we did for PIMCO, if I'm not mistaken.
I do. I've left it on the other side of the floor, so if you don't mind, I'll run out and get it.
Okay, sure. Okay. Well, while Marta grabs that, we're just so thankful to everyone for all of their support, and she's an example of one of the many amazing professionals, including lots of women leaders that support us in what we do. So we're so thankful to Marta. And Marta, I think you have it on now, right?
I got it on now. So this is our new Mercado 3-ply mask.
And it's a different design than the one that is coming through our e-commerce site, but it's really cool that everyone at PIMCO has those now.
It's very nice. It's very soft on the inside. It's all cotton lined, and several of my colleagues have said that they're trendy, and so they like that because appearances are just as important as protection.
Amazing. Well, Marta, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with everyone. And up next, we have, we're really excited to share with everyone an update from one of our amazing local partners here in the U.S. and in Portola Valley in particular. So up next are Daisy and Elle.
Hi, my name's Daisy, and I've been working with Mercado for around 6 years. I first found out about Mercado because two of my close friends, Kate and Elle, went on a trip with them to Guatemala. After coming back from their trip, they told me and my friend Gigi about their experiences. After learning about the experiences, we decided to create a small fundraising group. In the fundraising group, we would donate to a whole bunch of different nonprofits, but we mainly focused on Mercado. Mercado not only shaped our lives, but it caused a different mindset for us. We learned not only how fortunate we are, but how much we could actually make an impact. Even doing a simple bake sale, we can help impact so many lives, and we could change the course of history for all these artisan women. The work is amazing, and although they aren't as given as many opportunities as us, Mercado has shaped their lives. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have this experience with Mercado, and I'm so fortunate to be able to work with them and help give back to people around the world. It would mean the world to me and to all these women if you can make a donation. Mercado's work is amazing, and just a simple act of donating can change so many people's lives. Thank you.
Hello, I'm El Marsla, and I'm a sophomore at Woodside High School. I got involved with Mercado Global in 4th grade through the mother-daughter trip to Guatemala. That first trip opened my eyes to the lives of people living in third world countries, and the privilege that I have to be living here in California. I was inspired by Mercado's approach to breaking the cycle of poverty through empowering women to turn their skills into an income. I feel strongly that the best way to use our privilege to help those in need is not to change their way of life completely, but instead embrace their culture and give them tools to become independent and make money themselves. Female education has always been an important issue to me, and one major problem is that a family will only have enough money to send some children to school, and they often choose to send the boys and keep the girls at home to work. Through Mercado, women are empowered to become key contributors to family income, and these women and girls see that they are just as capable as men, and that they deserve an education equal to that of their brothers. Last summer, I interned at the Mercado offices in Guatemala, and it was so amazing to see all of the hard work that goes into producing the beautiful bags that we all love, even down to tying hundreds of tags to each and every bag. I realized that there is such a broad array of skills needed to run a nonprofit. In school, my favorite classes here is math, and in the future, I possibly want to study mathematics or data science. I would love to be able to apply these skills to working at a nonprofit that I feel passionately about, continue helping people and using my privilege for good.
Amazing. We love hearing that from our amazing young leaders in the Bay Area. Thank you so much, Daisy and Elle. We are so excited to see what's up next for all of you. Hi, I'm Bryce Level. I'm the Director of Development here at Mercado Global. I'm so excited to be talking to all of you tonight. And joining me is our another member of the leadership team to give you the inside scoop is Alyssa. Alyssa, are you there?
Oh, sorry, I had to unmute myself. I am. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Alyssa. Well, you look fabulous. Can you share where you're joining us from today?
Yes, I am joining you all from not so sunny. It's pretty dark, but Costa Rica.
Amazing, amazing. Well, we've all been the most jealous of some of our staff members that are in the most beautiful locations. So we're so excited to have you here with us tonight. I'm so sorry about my internet connection. My dad is in the other room watching, so our internet got a little overloaded. If anything happens, I'll be sure to rejoin on my cell phone again. I would love to hear more about your work, Alyssa, and I'm really excited to be talking to you tonight. Tell me what you're up to, what you do with Mercado.
Yeah, so my name is Alyssa Burgos. I'm the Director of Merchandising and Marketing. I've been with the company, actually today is my 1 year. Well, I started volunteering because I had quit my job and I was traveling, and I had known Mercado previously, and so I reached out to Ruth to volunteer. And so I don't know Ellie or Luis and Nina, if you remember, but it was like almost a year ago exactly today that we all met. And so yeah, so I've been with the company for about a year now. My role has changed quite a bit from volunteering on the fundraising team to being the Director of Merchandising and Marketing. So yeah, there's been a bit of a shift there, but it's been awesome, and I'm so excited to be on the team. There's so much exciting work to do and so much exciting stuff that we've already accomplished, and yeah, I've loved every minute. And yeah, so this is my first time ever working for a nonprofit. I had never been on the nonprofit side, and I know that Bryce, that's what you're all about. So how did you get started in the nonprofit world?
Yeah, well, it's been a long journey now, 12 years. I started out in DC at the United Nations Foundation, and I've been all across the country working at different sized organizations, I was in LA for a few years after DC, all, different size nonprofits. I did DC, I did several years in San Francisco, 6 years total. So Alyssa and I have that in common, a shared background. And I've worked with a lot of women empowerment groups. I've been in New York now for almost 2 years. And before Mercado Global, I'd never experienced such an amazing, amazing organization. I joined the team December of 2019, so still pretty fresh, but I was lucky enough to be down in Guatemala at the end of January, and it was one of the most transformative experiences of my entire life. I had never been able to really connect with programs in that way, and although I've been on the development side, so AKA fundraising and marketing, for 12 years, I had never been able to truly really experience programs and such that were just making such a huge difference. So I am so proud to be here. And I'm also so curious about your background too, Alyssa. I know that you have, fashion is far from my forte. So yeah, I'd love to hear about the path that led you to us.
Yeah. So pretty interesting story. I actually used to be the buyer for accessories at Stitch Fix, which is when I was introduced to Ruth and started carrying Mercado in our line at Stitch Fix. At that point, it was super important to me to start expanding our vendor base, to start incorporating more either like female-owned brands or ethically or ethical or sustainable brands. And so I was so excited, and I still remember so vividly my boss, when we walked out of that first meeting with Ruth, she specifically said, she was like, I haven't seen you that excited in a really long time. And it was just, I was like blown away by the product and the mission, and I felt like a really strong connection instantly. And then fast forward like a year, I was feeling a little uninspired, and I really wanted to make a shift but still within the fashion industry, to a more ethical. And I decided, I had been with Stitch Fix for 6 years. I decided to quit and just like travel for a little bit and kind of sort out my head. And then that's when I had decided to reach out to Ruth to see if I could volunteer with Mercado. And then that's it all. And honestly, it all just kind of came together. And it's so funny because at that time, my role wasn't even a role in the company, and nor was it open because it didn't exist. But it was just so great because it was really exactly what I was looking for when I had initially left my old company, and it brought me to Mercado, which Mercado kind of had initially set off that first chain of events to make me realize that I wanted to leave and pursue something more in line with my values. And so, yeah, it was all very full circle. So it feels really good. So yeah, pretty cool story. And I am not making any of that up. It is all real. It is not staged for this to make it sound like a cooler story than it was. It just actually is that cool. So yeah. And then Bryce, I'm interested to know, because this is your first stint with like international, what it's been like working with such a truly international team for you.
Yeah, it's been really interesting having the rest of my team members. Shout out to Nina and Louise, be down in Guatemala. I'm so lucky to be able to work with team members, even though I'm stationed up in New York. Usually, right now I'm in Virginia with my family, but it's been really an interesting challenge. We find ways to bring each other all together, and we're doing, really, especially right now in these times, we're working to really connect with each other. We're scheduling happy hours for the first time that we hadn't really done before. And now that we're all, safe at home, we are, doing coffees together a few times a week, really finding ways to connect. We have a happiness committee for the entire organization that's really special. We have the Quarantine Chronicles that we've just launched, where we're all sharing what has brought us some joy. And I know that, everything over the past several weeks has affected us. And, Alyssa, I'm wondering too, for you, there's with everything that's happened, how has this shifted the fashion side of things?
Yeah, well, So obviously, even as we were just previously discussing, we're kind of shifting from handbags to masks, which has been a huge overhaul. And the team, everybody in every single department has shifted so quickly and so rapidly. And we've really just gone full force with that. And now we're starting to think outside the box of ways that, you know, this isn't going to be something that is going to go away anytime soon. So masks are going to be something that our consumers are going to be looking for, you know, several months from now, possibly a year from now. And so thinking ways that we can keep it creative, keep it fresh, and keep it, keep providing quality products for her while also generating lots and lots and lots of work for our artisans. So that's been really fun. And it's, you know, it's a challenge, but it's really exciting. And just, it's so impressive to see how quickly everybody shifted and how strong our business is doing. The week that we launched our masks was crazy. It was, I think, one of the strongest, I mean, Ruth, you can correct me, but one of the highest sales weeks we've ever had on our site, which was so great. So thank you so, so much to everybody here who's bought a mask, and anybody who hasn't, if you want to. Nope. But yeah, so also just really thinking, it's forcing us to be really smart and strategic with our future collections, because we are still going to be designing handbags, but thinking through like what are the needs of the consumers in today's market? What are they really looking for? So yeah, that's how it's shifted. How about your team? How are you guys working together now that you guys are all globally, obviously pivoting for Fiesta?
Yeah, a lot has changed. We are, of course, like our insight trips have had to be rescheduled. Their Fiesta is now in this capacity, and you know, as we look forward to other virtual events, we're seeing what works from this and what we can really learn from. So I'm very glad that you all are our guinea pigs. But you know, right now it's really, you know, our team has completely had to rethink how we talk about our work, how we who we're working with, how we're working with them. You know, we've been so excited. Levi is one of our long-term partners, has been so generous with us, and they had donated deadstock denim for tote bags for a conference. Now, instead of using the bags for making bags, we are repurposing that denim, and they're donating it to make masks. And that is going to change, you know, make such a difference in so many people's lives. You know, we've got so many different, you know, grant opportunities, but it's really, you know, figuring out what we're actually eligible for, like what would be a good fit for us, how can we best utilize these partnerships. And it's been so heartwarming to see the outpouring of love and joy, and also reading all of your comments too already. It's so amazing to hear all of your support. And you know, we're definitely feel free to use our happiness committee. Yes, we're definitely, you know, the team has shifted so much. We're all like, you know, just going by as best as we can. But I think that right now because Mercado Global is already used to being kind of a remote organization, we have a really unique opportunity to provide truly meaningful connections for people at a time where not much is certain. And it feels so good to be able to provide hope. I need it for myself, that's for sure. And you know, when we saw the first photos of doctors wearing our masks, I'll tell you, it meant so much to each and every one of us, and every single bit of support counts. For us, for the doctors that we work with, for all the nurses, for all the people on the front lines, it's making a difference, and it makes a difference for all of our artisans every single day. And speaking of, I'd just like to share a little bit of extra good news. We just got funding to provide 2,500 masks to our artisan communities. So yeah, so now we're going to make sure that our artisans are extra well protected. We're helping keep them safe, healthy, and fed, and we're doing the same for all of us. So yeah, we've just shifted a lot, but we are so grateful for it. So yeah, Alyssa, how about you? What are you most excited about in these uncertain times?
Honestly, I've always really loved a challenge, and so it's really fun just all of us coming together and brainstorming the different ways that we can still serve our client in this environment, but while still providing for the women. I'm really excited to just see where this mask initiative goes. I think it's going to open up a lot of doors for us and continue to increase our visibility in the marketplace. And I really think that, you know, Ruth has said several times that, you know, these are hard times, that we can still make something positive out of it. And honestly, I might not have thought that a month or so ago when this was all hitting and it was so chaotic. And just to know my mindset now versus where it was a month and a half ago has made a total 180. So I'm just excited to keep this momentum going that we've made and continue to see where we take it. And I really think that this year we can have an even stronger year than we did the year prior, which is so exciting given the circumstances.
Amazing. Amazing. Wow, I love all of this. It's been so incredible getting to catch up. It truly brings my heart so much joy, and I'm so proud of what you and our entire team have been able to accomplish in such a short amount of time. This is unheard of. Not many organizations are able to do this and be so relevant in this moment. Personally, it's given me such a sense of purpose, and I am so thankful. So yes, we're take a short break for just a few minutes and hopefully be able to provide you with some live music from El Salvador for one song, give you a little bit of time to refill your glass, maybe make another Mercado Rita, and to set the mood, we can bring you some music and maybe a very adorable guest to help keep him company. Maybe? Yes. It looks like we do have a llama that's coming shortly.
I believe we do. He might be a little bit late, but he's coming.
And also music from Carlos Neda. Hopefully.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
So I was not expecting a storm, and suddenly like a storm hit my setup in the garden, so I had to like move. Now I'm in an awkward corner of my house, but the music should sound good anyway. So this is a Calle 13 song. I love to say. Quiero caminar por encima de tu pelo hasta llegar al ombligo de tu oreja y recitarte un poquito de cosquillas y regalarte una sábana de almendra, darte un beso de desayuno, pa' irnos volando hasta Neptuno. Si hace frío te caliento con una sopa de amapola y con un fricassé de acero. Quiero caminar por encima de tu pelo hasta llegar al ombligo de tu oreja y recitarte un poquito de cosquilla y regalarte una sábana de almeja, darte un beso de desayuno, pa' irnos volando hasta Neptuno. Si hace frío te caliento con una sopa de amapola y con un fricassé de acero. Tú eres un panal de dulce, fruta fresca, tú tienes una mirada demasiado pintoresca, una mirada color infinito. Tú me pones el estómago blandito, vamos pasito a pasito, siguiéndonos la huella, caminando en una tómbola de estrellas. Un paisaje con clima perfecto, regálame una sonrisita con sabor a viento. Tú eres mi vitamina del pecho, mi fibra. Tú eres todo lo que me equilibra, un balance, lo que me complementa. Regálame un besito con sabor a menta. Vamos a hacer burbujas dentro del café. Vamos a tener 100 bebés y dejar los clichés para otro día. Tú me hiciste brujería, bruja. Vámonos pa' Cuba, 100 millas, patinando por la sandía. Vamos a hacer un compromiso sin capilla, con una siembra de trigo y la luna de testigo, rolladito, usando el mismo abrigo. Hey, quiero caminar por encima de tu pelo hasta llegar al ombligo de tu oreja y recitarte un poquito de cosquilla y regalarte una sábana de almeja, darte un beso de desayuno, pa' irnos volando hasta Neptuno. Si hace frío te caliento con una sopa de amapola y con un fricassé de acerola. Thank you guys for inviting me over to sing. As my first Zoom show, so
it's great.
Yes, it's a great breakthrough during pandemic times. Quiero caminar por encima de tu pelo hasta llegar al ombligo de tu oreja y recitarte un poquito de cosquilla y regalarte una sábana de almeja, darte un beso de desayuno para irnos volando hasta Neptuno. Si hace frío te caliento con una sopa de amapola y con un fricassé de acerola. That's the thunder for the end of the song. Thank you.
Perfect.
I don't know how, like if you want me to sing another song, you guys good. Whatever you guys say, I'm good. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Carlos. That was wonderful.
Thank you very much for inviting me over, and I hope you guys keep the hard work in Guatemala, and thanks for everything you do for the communities in Guatemala.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Carlos. That was fantastic. And I hope, everyone's, and I can see people applauding, but we have people on mute, so you can't hear them. So, but you're getting lots of applause. Well, and I hope everybody has a Mercado Rita or other delicious beverage, refreshing their drink. And I would like to take a moment before the next part to just thank a really important group of our supporters, the host committee who helped put this event together tonight, as well as our board members. So just a shout out to Laura and Ginny Kavanaugh, Megan Collins, Sarah Dory, Brandy Stroh, Allison Poach, Maria Geenan, Marta Bazzori, Corey Lau, Mark Swedlin, Melody Hart, Elizabeth Ekman, Mary Wilder, Sophie Allen, Jennifer Ali, Claudia Montefiore. Thank you so much for all of your support. We are so grateful to all of you. And now it is my turn to be on the hot seat. I know we're a little behind schedule, so we're gonna maybe shorten it up a little bit. But now I'm on the hot seat, and I think we are going to be taking questions from everyone. Usually at our events, we stand up, speak briefly, and it's done. But with this amazing virtual event format, we could actually take questions from everyone. And Bryce, I am not technically savvy enough, and so I'm not able to see all the questions in the chat. But maybe, Bryce, you could read to me some of the questions that people are sending through, and I'd love to answer any questions and talk about what we're doing and hear what you guys are curious about.
Yeah, absolutely. We've already had someone ask this recently. What have you heard from our artisans on the ground, and how are things in Guatemala?
Well, first of all, our artisans on the ground have been, when one of the things that I feel very strongly about is the importance of sharing information. And when everything first happened, a lot of our artisans, I heard from Lydia, who is, I know on the call, the head of our operations in Guatemala, an amazing woman, that many of our artisans were worried. Was Mercado Global going to be okay? What was going to happen? People didn't understand what the virus was. People were worried about not having orders, not having income. And so just as we've used videos, monthly video calls, and weekly emails to the team, and lots of other communication techniques to make sure everyone in the organization knows what's going on, and we're all working together, and we know things are hard, but we have a plan. We're going to be okay. We're going to get everyone through. Everyone that's depending on us, we're going to get them through. We work to figure out how could we convey that to the artisans too. And so we've created little video messages that we've been sending through WhatsApp to all of our artisans. Our team on the ground is in constant communication with the artisans and letting them know how we're doing, what our plan is, explaining why all of a sudden are we producing tens of thousands of masks instead of these totes and backpacks and other things that we were doing before. And actually, one thing that really moved me was right at the beginning when we were explaining why we were doing masks. A lot of artisans knew that my dad was a doctor and were very worried about my dad, and they knew that we lived in New York, and they were hearing on the radio how bad things were in New York, and they were so worried about us. So actually us letting our artisans know that we were okay too was really important.
Yeah, and we have had the question asked, how's our staff? Are they all healthy and safe?
Yes. So the first thing we did was in mid-March, supported everyone in leaving New York City, or at least everyone that wanted to leave New York City, supported everyone in that, getting everyone set up to work remotely. The idea was everyone get to wherever they feel most comfortable, where they will feel best for the next couple of months. So everyone is safe. All of our staff are safe. Our staff in Guatemala are safe. We have all types of, changed everything how we do everything to put safety first and to make sure the team is okay. So I'm really happy to see that everyone is safe.
Amazing. And I am too. And another question we've received, how did the staff react to changing the products that they were making? And also, related, someone asked if we're going to develop a pouch for the masks. Wink.
Well, change is a hard thing. And as our amazing board chair, Cray Lyle, will tell you, change management is a whole area of work and a whole thing, to think about how fast can people manage change. And we pivoted so hard and so fast, but we did it in a really thoughtful way. Our core values as an organization are authenticity, respect, and partnership. And I've always found that if we go to those values to help us figure out how to make the hard decisions, that we'll find the answer there. And so what we did is we had a series of conversations and calls internally to talk about what was going on and how we had to adapt, and talked about, even though it's hard to accept that, we'd worked so hard to build an in-person Fiesta event with honorees and, corporate sponsors, and that, we could no longer do an in-person event. We had all these orders in the pipeline for, with big clients for bags. And it was hard to recognize that may go away for a couple of months, at least for a couple of months, or maybe a year. But that if we recognize that quickly and we're thoughtful about, okay, what's the opportunity in the crisis, that together we could have find a path forward. And actually one of our donors, Ken Lewis from Greater Impact Foundation, I think he's on the call, he was one of the first people to come to us and float the mask idea. And it just, we moved hard after it as a team, and have, at every step in the way, we do our weekly leadership team calls and weekly department calls, and we talk about how is it going, because it is hard to manage this much change. But I think we've also found a lot of joy in it. It feels so amazing. Bryce, you were talking about what it was like to see that first picture of our masks in use. And I'm seeing, people that I know wearing masks that I know are not as protective as they could be. And so it's exciting to also feel that we could be part of helping deal with this crisis.
Absolutely. Agreed, Ruth. And we appreciate your leadership every single day. We are so lucky to be working with you and all of you. I'm so grateful. We are, it looks like we are going to be shifting over to one of our special host committee members who was going to share a few words. Megan. Let's unmute you first. There you go.
Hi, everyone. This is so cool. I love you all so much, and I'm so proud to be a part of this organization. Can everyone hear me? Yeah? Okay. So anyways, this is just a dynamic group of empathetic and intelligent and generous individuals. And these artisans that we support are ever so grateful. And it's just been a pleasure to be not only part of this host committee for, this is maybe my 4th year on that, but also to be on the board of directors. And you saw one of my daughters, Daisy, who spoke earlier. And I have another daughter, Reese, who also has been involved a little bit. We had an incredible trip to Guatemala last summer. Wish we could go again right now. I miss Lydia so much, and all of you down there. And I wish I could give you a big hug, but hopefully soon enough that will happen. But really, this organization is resilient and proactive, and that's what's keeping us all, I think, on this call and all here ready to donate. And that's what I would love to ask you for at this time. So this is a hard time for everyone, but this is a great opportunity to keep these women working a steady income so they can feed their children and stay healthy, super important. And of course, the masks that they're producing for the front lines, the humanitarian aid that's going on, and as well as all of us who want masks as well. So right now, I would love to open up this group chat. So many of you know how to use it, okay? But below your screen, you'll see a chat. And what I'm gonna do right now is kick off the donation. So I'm gonna say, Megan, everyone knows who I am, is going to donate $5,000. Oh gosh, that's not right. $5,000. Okay, you can all do the same. Not necessarily at that level, but you can all do the same. You can click down there, just state your name and the amount you'd like to donate. And tomorrow, someone of the Mercado staff will get in touch with you and follow through with your donation. You can also donate online at the Mercado website, or you can contact Bryce and Ruth directly and go from there. But just so you know, your donations are super valuable right now to these women. So just for an example, let's say you started at $10,000, okay? $10,000 would support technical training and education programs for 20 women in Guatemala for a year. Okay, that's huge. So what I just did is a $5,000 donation will support 10 artisans, so they have a steady paycheck, food for their families, and all sorts of incredible opportunities. Let's say you donate at the $2,500 level. That's 500 masks for those on the front line in the healthcare. That's incredible. $1,000 can get an artisan will be given their own sewing machine to work on their own terms, you know, without being at a co-op, because right now that's basically, you know, an impossibility. So that would be incredible. $500 would give 100 masks. Any donation actually would give anything. So if you want to just add into this chat with your donation, you can go onto the website. You can make a private donation with Bryce or Ruth or any of the host committee members that you know and love that have brought you here to this great organization. All of this is incredibly valuable. And I'm just so proud to be part of this group. And I know you all seem to share the same energy and love. So I miss you all. I wish we could be dancing right now to an incredible band as we have in the past, and eating great food and drinks from all of our sponsors and catching up with each other. But this has really been an incredible get together. And thank you to all of those who made this happen. And I'm going to send it back to Ruth, but love you all.
Amazing. Megan, thank you so much. You are such an inspiration. You're such a champion for us and the women we serve. So grateful to you. And it's so amazing.
So sorry, I just wanted to do my role as development director. I just want to thank so many people already. We have some incredible donations. Mark Swedland donated $5,000. I think we've got Marta. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. Maria's donated online. Oh my gosh, Jeff and Sarah also in for $5,000. This is amazing. Thank you all so much. You're making our day. You're making our night. You're making our week. You're making our year. Okay, Ruth, back to you. Keep on donating, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. So grateful to you. Thank you for all of your support. We couldn't do it without you. So, you know, this has been just an incredible evening. So grateful to each of you, to our staff, to our artisans, to our supporters, all of you for making it possible. Thank you for being part of the Mercado Global family. And feel free to hang around for some live music from El Salvador. And if you're interested in learning more about our Impact Council, which is similar to Junior Board, stick around after the music for a meet and greet with the co-chairs of our New York City and San Francisco chapters. And we will be taking pledges through the end of the music, but you can donate anytime on our website. And there are a lot of other ways to also help make a difference. You can share our work with your friends and colleagues. please follow us on social media, connect us with your company's philanthropy program or their matching program. Also, a lot of companies like PIMCO are now purchasing masks from our artisans for their staff, or they're purchasing masks through our corporate Buy a Box, Give a Box of Masks program, where they can donate masks to their local healthcare workers. And of course, as Bryce said, please feel free to reach out to Bryce to learn more about how you can get involved, help make a difference right now. We are so grateful to all of you for having our back, to the Mercado Global community for making all this possible. And we hope to see all of you at our next event, whether it's virtual or in person. And until then, please remember that the words that have inspired our work since the beginning are a single thread is stronger when woven with many others. And that's true whether we're together in person or whether we're together via Zoom and social media and other ways that we're connected. Thank you, and cheers to our 2020 Fiesta. Play us out, Carlos.
Carlos had.
Or he had to, did he have to jump off?
Carlos had to leave.
Okay.
The thunderstorm got his internet. Yes, the storm. However, we have a llama. We have a llama. Yo, we have a llama.
And we do have a llama. He's ready for Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. We got a llama, y'all.
And he's very handsome.
His name is Smokey.
Oh, is this a llama from Half Moon Bay, right where so many of our supporters live, or nearby?
We are actually just north of Portland, Oregon, and our farm focuses on sharing our llamas and alpacas for therapy and education. So we have a whole herd of 13 llamas and alpacas, and my mom and I specifically find very friendly, social, and independent animals to take to nursing homes, special needs schools, and hospitals.
Wow.
Smokey here has been a therapy llama for over 10 years. He's 17 years old, and llamas live between 20 and 25.
Oh, what a cutie. We are so lucky to get some time with Smokey. What a great way to end this event and keep the joy coming. And, you know, while we're at it, we can keep those donations rolling in. You won't llama miss it. Been working on that one all week. And we keep on getting more donations in. So thank y'all so much. I think that we're going to call it a night, unless you would like to hear more about the Impact Council or just hang out with us in this adorable llama named Smokey for a little bit longer. So yeah, we've got our co-chairs of the Impact Council if you want to stick around, y'all.
Thank you, everyone. So grateful to all of you. Thank you.
Thanks, y'all. Oh my gosh, we are so lucky. Look at that llama.
And by the way,
not as cute as this llama, but if you want to know more about the Impact Council, I'm sure we can try to get some hats for our next Fiesta, okay?
I love it.
I can't beat that look, but I mean, I can try.
I love
it. Oh
my
gosh. Well, I mean, we've got it all now. Like we've had Mercado Ritas.
And Bryce, I just want to call out
technical difficulties. We have a Zoom llama.
In addition to all of the amazing supporters whose faces I'm seeing here, which is giving me so much strength just as I look at everyone, I also see longtime former staff, people who have visited us in Guatemala, and the llama. It's just amazing to see the whole community that makes our work possible. So grateful. And some of our staff in Guatemala who have never been able to join one of our events before because it's so hard to get visas for our staff to come up to the US. We could usually do it only for one person a year. And it's amazing to see many of our staff from our offices in Guatemala on this call. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really special that we get to all connect through this in these strange times. I definitely did not expect that. We were planning on being in San Francisco right now in the Bay Area, and I'm feeling very lucky to be here with all of you tonight and Smokey the llama, and very grateful for all of the donations that have been coming in tonight. People are messaging me privately too, sending in their donations. We are so grateful. We are so thankful for each and every one of you. So yeah, just you can feel free to donate now. You can hop online, mercadoglobal.org. You can also find us on social media. We are happy to, reach out to us in any of the ways, and we will gladly get that pledge processed for you. I'm Bryce at mercadoglobal.org. And yeah, you can definitely, if there's someone that you want to connect with about donating, I'm your girl. So I would love to be in touch and love to connect you with our amazing work.
Awesome. And maybe while we wait before we start talking about the Impact Council, I'd love to hear from Louise and Nina calling in from Antigua, Guatemala. Those of you who have visited us in Guatemala know what Antigua is like. It's quite different now. Do you guys want to just say hi to everyone briefly?
Hi!
Two of our staff are quarantining together in Antigua, Guatemala.
Yes, we're keeping each other company. And yeah, we're having fun down here. There's been a lot of work, but we've been enjoying adjusting to the new circumstances. We've been social distancing, and it's nice to have company and someone to quarantine with.
Yeah, definitely. We're having, I mean, considering it's quarantine, we're having a good time here. So definitely keeping each other company and enjoying all of the meetings, Zoom meetings that we're having with our other staff, like Bryce mentioned before, doing our team coffees and cocktails and stuff like that. So that's been really helpful. It's nice.
We finished our Mercado Ritas already.
So amazing. I love it.
Yeah, we're very that you are quarantined, that you're roommates and you get to quarantine together. It makes our staff meetings so much team meetings easier for me, for sure. I can definitely find you easier. I do ask to relay messages, but as part of the development team, we gotta also make those. Want to make sure that we're getting the word out there about donating tonight. I just want to say that no donation is too small. We appreciate every single level of donations. All of your gifts make such a huge difference. $5, $50 to every gift, it counts. $100. Oh, see, Smokey knows. Smokey agreed.
And Bryce is I know Lydia's on this call. Does Lydia have video? I know so many people know Lydia who heads our operations in Guatemala. It'd be amazing if she could just say hi briefly to everyone. Pero Lydia, no sé si usted está allá, si puede decir algo.
She has her video up, but we'll see if she lets us know soon.
Oh, okay, she has her video off. I know that her internet.
Hola.
Hola, Lydia, ¿cómo está usted?
Hola. Buenas noches. Lo siento que mi internet no es suficiente para iniciar una videollamada, pero estoy súper emocionada de tener este espacio para compartir con cada una de ustedes. Como siempre, es una gran satisfacción estar en los eventos y estoy impresionada de todo lo que hace cada persona desde donde está. Y Mercado Global Guatemala como artesanas y todos estamos súper agradecidos con todos quienes hacen posible esta gran organización para todas las mujeres que a diario trabajan.
Y voy a traducir si me da un momentito. I'm going to try to translate. Lydia is calling in from her home. There's a mandated curfew in Guatemala, so she couldn't come to the office to do the call, and her internet's not strong enough to put her video on, but she just wanted to say that it's so amazing for her to see everyone. Thank you all for being here, and she and the staff and the artisans are so excited about what we're doing, and she's just really thankful to everyone and really, really excited to have everybody's support.
We are so grateful for you, Lydia. Muchas gracias. We are, I've only gotten to meet Lydia in person once, but it was that entire trip was one of my favorites. I can't imagine this is the highlight of my career, I've got to say. And being here tonight with all of you is definitely a special one as well. And we keep on getting so many donations. You're filling up my inbox right now, and it feels really wonderful to have so many supporters out there. Donations of all levels. Oh my goodness, it is so inspiring to see, and we are so grateful for each and every one of them.
And I just wanted to share as well that For those of you who don't know, Lydia originally started as an artisan. At this point, it might be about almost 13 years ago, and she worked her way up. She now heads operations in Guatemala, got her business degree while working for Mercado Global through our support, and she's a total rock star. So you talk about who could pull off immense amount of change very quickly, very successfully. Lydia is the star in the organization, and it meant while we were getting the mask initiative up off the ground, I know that there were days, this is not what we want usually like allow staff to do, but there were days when I know she was at the office at 5 a.m. helping get everything done, getting as much done as we could before the curfew started, figuring out the miracles of how do we do such massive production in a country that's on lockdown. Even though our artisans can work from home and it's safe, they could self-quarantine, but just getting permission to travel, to pick up materials, drop off materials safely in our communities. I could go through a list of the challenges that we had to problem solve to do all that we're doing and to help everyone, get everyone safe. How do we have people set up to work remotely where our staff in Guatemala don't even have internet at home? And most of our staff don't live in Panajachel. They have to take public transportation in from the surrounding mountains, but there is no public transportation. She has just been there for her team. She's been creative. She's worked so hard, and she, by golly, is going to get a vacation. Week-long vacation at some point in the next couple of weeks. That's our number one priority because she's important. She's so key, and we're so grateful to Lydia for everything that she's done. Gracias, Lydia, por todo.
Gracias. Gracias. I think that we're going to wrap this up shortly. And so I think that, we've had some amazing responses to our llama and to our amazing programs. And thank you again for all the donations. You can feel free to keep on messaging us, but it looks like we're going to wrap up the evening and then in the next few minutes. And I'd like to turn it over to the co-chairs of the Impact Council, which is kind of like a junior board. We've got Jen and Claudia who are making the Mercado Ritas for us earlier. And I'd love to welcome, hey y'all, and I'd love to welcome Mary and Sophie as well from San Francisco, who are our co-chairs in that chapter.
Yay.
Hey y'all.
Mary.
Hi guys.
Hi, can you hear us?
Yeah, we've got you on the line. Yeah, would love to hear, would love to, if anyone has any questions about the Impact Council, they can, feel free to ask us some questions on how you can join. The San Francisco board has been up and running for the past few months now, and we are so grateful for Mary and Sophie for spearheading all those efforts. And Claudia and Jen are working towards launching the New York one in just the next few weeks. So we're definitely accepting applications, and very excited to talk to everyone. Mary and Sophie, do you want to talk a little bit, or say anything about how it's been going so far?
Sure. Yeah. So Sophie and I kicked things off with this group in February, and it definitely, we had all these plans of how everything was going to go, and enter global pandemic, and things shifted, and it's been really cool to see. I work in the nonprofit tech world, and I work with a lot of organizations for whom any sort of pivoting or change is really difficult. And so to have been involved at this time and seeing the team pivot in the way that they have has been really cool. And working with this group of other women in San Francisco has been really fun and exciting, and we're kind of just getting started, so I'm excited to see where things go. And Sophie, I don't know if you have other things you want to add, but that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, for sure. I'll just reiterate, I think there was a lot of energy and excitement when we first kicked off a couple months ago, and I think it definitely didn't go quite as we planned, but it is so exciting to see how Mercado Global has navigated this situation. And I think that there's just that much more excitement for people to be involved in an organization that has this kind of energy and this momentum and movement forward. And I think we're going to see it through this, and then and then on to super big goals and exciting events, and we're really excited to build it. So if anybody has any questions, reach out to us now, or I'm sure we can send you our contact and you can follow up with us independently and we can answer questions or get you involved.
Amazing. We are so grateful. And you know, Louise, you can also reach out to Louise at mercadoglobal.org. She is working very closely with the co-chairs to get these groups off the ground. I know that Claudia and Jen have been doing an excellent job as well, trying to recruit New York City members. We are so excited to be working with y'all, especially, and you know, Jen with her corporate connections as well. So you know, so all of you have been doing such an amazing job at helping us bring in new opportunities. So very, very glad to have you all on board.
Nice. I just want to say, if anybody on this call knows of anybody, if you're interested in joining, you got West Coast, you've got East Coast, pick the best coast. We're all the same. So we all have the same goal in mind here. We all want to do great. We're amazing women that are coming together, and just amazing people that just want to share the world of, you know, and advocate for Mercado. So we are recruiting. So let everybody know. Feel free to reach out to myself. I'll give my contact information out. Reach out to Louise. She can coordinate everything. And if you're interested, know anybody, you know, talk to us, learn a little bit more. And fun fact from us East Coast people over here on the New York chairs are, we are half Guatemalan. So hello, Latinas. Yes. Okay. But so, you know, in all honesty, this organization is very dear and near to me, and it means a lot to myself, knowing that I can help out, you know, the country where my mother was born and was able to give me this. Now I have the resources and this amazing organization that Ruth has that we can be a part of, and we can make a difference globally. That's what we're doing. We are making, I mean, the action that they took with COVID-19 to make these masks, we are doing this globally to flatten the curve, to not only help them and the women in Guatemala, but everybody around the world. So, you know, if you want to come and join us, and, you know, we can be one amazing, great force, like, let's do this.
Love it.
Amazing. Yeah, and these groups will be, you know, coordinating other smaller, you know, probably smaller events, maybe not, we'll see. They'll be really forming, you know, special connections, you know, within the group. You know, there's opportunities for mentorships with and connections with our board members who are also so amazing, and we're so grateful for each of them. Yeah, the impact councils have, especially in San Francisco, have really taken off. And, you know, there's right now, there's also so much opportunity for them to collaborate together, and under different circumstances that would not have necessarily happened. So right now we're able to bring them all of them together right here for this event. So that is a first for us. We're so excited to be able to be bi-coastal right now in this moment and bring so much wonderful connection to everyone. So yeah, thank you all so much. Ruth, anything before we close this out?
Just very grateful to all of you for all of your support. And we were so nervous to do our first virtual gala with all of the tech and everything, but this, at least for me, this was a really, really special, wonderful experience. And it means so much to feel connected to all of you. We're all over the country, we're all over the world, but we're also all connected, and it gives me strength. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ruth. And I'm so inspired when you say a single thread is stronger when woven with many others. So, in your words, you know, thank you, and good night, y'all.
Bye,
Night,
everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Gracias.
Bye.
Bye.